Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning into the video. This is going to be my first ever character build guide on a hack and slash RPG game, and as much as I like my hair down, it is unbrushed, so I'm going to take care of that right now. And that's better, hair's out of the way. So let's get straight into the video. We're first going to go over the skills and the runes. So this build uses a frenzy set, obviously, so you're going to have frenzy equipped. Doesn't matter what rune you have equipped, because you're going to have every effect of all the runes with the use of the champion's belt. And I've got it equipped to Vanguard, but it really doesn't matter which one you have. And then for your next skill, I feel like you can have anyone equipped in here, so you might want to have something like Ignore Pain or something like that. You can really have any, to be honest. I just have Sprint because it makes me a little bit faster to move around in the rifts, and on top of that you get movement speed stacks with the set as well. So Sprint mixed with the movement speed buff that you get from the stacks of Frenzy from the set really does give you a little boost of speed for a character that is kind of slow, especially compared to, say, a Crusader or Monk or anyone really. Then we're going to go on to Threatening Shout. Threatening Shout is a mandatory skill, not 100% mandatory, but it does work with the set. You're going to want to have the Terrify rune on here, because every enemy affected by fear, which Terrify does, will take, is it 100%? They take increased damage. You also get double effects from your Threatening Shout, which means where you get reduced damage by 20% from enemies in 25 yards is doubled, so that's 40% decrease for 15 seconds. On top of that, I've got Aquila in the cube, so altogether that goes up to 90% damage decrease. So that's definitely helpful right there, and we'll cover what it does in the set as well when we look at our equipment setup. Next skill we have is Bloodshed. Deal damage equal to 20% of your recent critical hits to enemies within 20 yards. This just helps do a little bit of AoE damage, not a load, but definitely a little bit. And on top of that, Battle Rage obviously gives you 10% increased damage, and also increases your critical hit chance by 3%. And it lasts 2 minutes, so you don't have to cast it very much. And then we're moving on to Warcry. 20% increase to armor for 2 minutes. And on top of that, we've got the Impunity rune, which gives us an extra increase for elemental resistances by 20%. So that increases all of those. And then last but not least, Wrath of the Berserker. Cooldown is quite sucky in my opinion for Wrath of the Berserker, but it's not too bad. You get to use it every once in a while, and obviously the while active gain 50% increased damage. You could also even use the braces, which give you the effect of all the Berserker runes, but I don't feel like it's in effect enough to really require it. And then we're going to look at the passive skills we've got. So the first perk we've got is Rampage. Increase strength by 1% for 8 seconds after killing an enemy, and it stacks up to 25 times, so that's a 25% damage increase if you're killing constantly enough. And then you've got Brawler. As long as there's at least 3 enemies on the screen, which there usually always is, all your damage is increased by 20%, so that's a 20% damage increase right there. And then we got Berserker Rage. Whilst you're at Max Fury, you deal 25% more damage, and you're always going to be at Max Fury. There's hardly a time where you won't have Max Fury. And even if it somehow went down to nothing, you attack so fast it builds straight back up instantly pretty much. Then we got Nerves of Steel for that cheat death. Fatal damage instead reduces you to 15% life, and for 3 seconds afterwards you take reduced damage, almost 100% reduced damage, and you're immune to control impairing effects. And I have to sneeze. Excuse me. And back to the video. There's one other we have. We also have, I will show it in a second, it's on my Hellfire Amulet, which we have equipped, and we're going to jump straight onto that now, right after we have a look at the cube. Alright, so we got Bastions Revered, so instead of 5 stacks of Frenzy, we can now get stacks up to 10 stacks of Frenzy, which means 10,000 extra damage, because we have 1000% increased damage per stack. Obviously Aquila, I mentioned, is in there as well, just for the reduced damage, which you definitely need for higher greater rift levels. And I've got a Royal Ring of Grandeur equipped just because I have this equipped. I don't have ancient, let alone primal version of the gloves for the set, otherwise I'd probably be using them. And then I can switch this out for something else. We're going to quickly go over our follower as well before we jump into the equipment. As you can see here, obviously the follower cannot die. You definitely need that one, otherwise he won't survive. Shoulders, you can pick anything you want. I have these just so I don't need to repair. And then I have this I would usually have a diamond in there, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that out right now. Just the thing. So what you're going to want to have here is the Flavor of Time for Pyro effects last twice as long. I have a Unity equipped just because I've got one of myself as well. I've got an ancient one. I think mostly everything's ancient except for these. I did get an ancient. This character's from last season, by the way, where I got an ancient version of these, but I scrapped them by mistake and then thought, oh crap. Then we have Nemesis, obviously, so shrines always spawn an enemy champion. And Gloves of Worship, so shrine effects last for 10 minutes. So you're going to want those for when you run in rifts or greater rifts. And I have them with an Oculus ring, just so it puts down that circle, because it definitely increases the damage a fair bit. You do notice the damage increase when you are in the circle. Unfortunately, it's on a range build, so you have to hope the enemy's close enough to the circle for when you're standing in it to attack. And obviously again, Unity right there. And then Ice Climbers, just so they can't get frozen or immobilized. And I think that's about all for the follower. Other than the skills, I've got regenerates life per second. I feel it's a little bit better than this one. And then we've got the cooldown 10 seconds charge, which charges to an enemy, stunning all enemies for 5.5 seconds almost. Then we've got the cheat death, because we don't need Fury generation. So we've got the extra cheat death, so we have 2 cheat deaths altogether as long as we have Wrath of the Berserker active. So hitting Wrath of the Berserker when you're about to die or when your health is going down a lot is definitely good, or when you are under control, impairing effects and whatnot. This one, every 10 seconds, taunt enemies every 10 yards of you for almost 5.5 seconds when you are hit. So that helps just take a bit of aggro off of you. And I'm going to jump into the character build. I'm going to also throw up a video right now, and that's basically just the other day when I made the video. I actually made the video, recorded it for 1 hour, and didn't realise I had my fan on, which completely ruined the video. It wasn't as bad as another time that happened, but it was enough of an extra noise every few seconds to where it put me off and made me not want to upload it, or completely edit it and then upload it, because I didn't feel like it was good enough. There's also a couple of things. I did some crafting in there. I got my Hellfire amulet, and also I got this belt right here. I first noticed that I had one in the stash, and it had the frenzy effect gains every rune, and frenzy gains the effect of every rune, but it didn't have the increased damage, meaning it was an old version of the item where they hadn't added the increased frenzy damage. So I thought, awesome, I have a primal version of that. So I scrapped that, and then I made another one. It took at least 5 tries, but I made another one. And I also made this in just 1 or 2 tries, reforging this, so I was quite happy with that. And I also, of course, made the Hellfire amulet that I mentioned. And this one has Boon of Bolcathos. So that passive decreases the cooldown time of 3 different skills, one being Wrath of the Berserker. That will make it so it's 90 seconds instead. I have got up to 34% cooldown, and that was just about all I could get, really. And without changing other things, obviously you wouldn't want to take 10% damage off of there. And we've got only 25% attack speed increase, but you really do not need attack speed increase on anything, or at least that's how I feel, that's my opinion. Yeah, we've got these primary skills heal you for 5.6% of your missing life. That helps for a little bit of life per hit. You're always hitting with your primary skill. And then these has cold skills till 15% increased damage. So there is a 15% damage increase. It could be 20%, which would be nicer. There's also something else that I was lacking damage in. This. Unluckily, I've only got 155% on that one. That would be really nice if it was 200%, although I'm probably going to make that primary if the new items for this current Season 27, if they carry over, then I will definitely use that. I don't know if they carry over or not. Let me know in the comment section below if you know that. We've also got the Rings Unity, I said we have equipped, and then we also have this lightning skill. Lightning damage has a chance to stun for 1.5 seconds. Now, if we look in Frenzy, one of the runes is Smite. So each hit has 30% chance to call down bolt lightning from above, stunning the enemy for 1.5 seconds. So that's 30% chance to stun right there. And I feel like the ring is just an extra 35% chance stun. So hopefully that's 70% chance. I don't know how that works out, or if there's a cooldown per stun hit. Either way, it's a nice ring, good on stats, and someone just dropped it on the floor in Season 27 when I was doing some stuff. So I thought, yep, I'll grab that. So yeah, we'll cover this weapon as well as the other weapon. We've got the Oathkeeper, which is mandatory. Both weapons are mandatory, really. You could maybe switch this up for something, but you would lose a big chunk of attack speed. This one makes your primary skills attack 50% faster and deal extra damage, up to 200%, 150% to 200%. Frenzy attack speed increases by 15% every time you attack, and it stacks up to 5 times. With the cubed weapon we've got, that stacks up to 10 times, so that's 150%, I think. So that's 150% increase, and that's 50% increase. And then this slaying enemies engulfs the warrior into a frenzy. It's one of those cryptic ones that doesn't just straight up say what it does. And basically what it does is, whilst you're killing enemies, you get a further attack increase buff up to, I believe it's 75% more. So you're basically going to end up doing 5 attacks per second, which I think is the maximum attack speed per second. And I think that's with each weapon as well. So I think with each hand you can do up to 5 attacks per second, which is just insane. And we're going to move on to the set now. So the Skull of Savages helm, part of the Horde of the 90 Savages set. Horde of the 90 Savages set I think came out last season, if not the one before that, but I think it was last season. You've got the 2-part set, which doubles the effectiveness of shouts, and you also deal double damage to feared, frozen or stunned enemies. So even if they're frozen or stunned as well, that also takes into account. And here is our shout, threatening shout. Doubles the effectiveness of the shout, so instead of 20% damage reduction for 15 seconds, we get 40%, which really helps with the Aquila in the cube. And enemies, 100% chance, always flee in fear, which means they take the extra damage from that. Also, I have 1.8% chance to stun on hit on the secondary there, and 14% chance to fear on hit on this weapon, which I find a pain in the butt, to be honest, because it means even when I'm not using this, sometimes the enemies start walking away from me. That's why I feel like sprint helps a little bit, just to even more quickly be next to an enemy, because you always have to be next to an enemy to attack with this build. And there we go, the belt I mentioned. The Undisputed Champion have the effect of every rune on Frenzy, plus an increased amount of damage up to 400%. Then we've got the 4-part of the set. Each Frenzy stack reduces damage taken by 6%, and Frenzy lasts twice as long. Frenzy, I feel like, lasts long enough anyway, because you're attacking so much that it doesn't really go down very often. Then you've also got the damage reduction, that's the main part of it right there. You definitely will notice it when you don't have the stacks compared to when you do have half of the stacks or full stacks. Then the main part of the set is the Frenzy deals 1000% increased damage per stack. So with the max stacks possible going up to 10 stacks, you're going to have 10,000 damage per Frenzy attack, which definitely helps. 10,000 plus 220,000 is, I'm going to pause the video and ask Alexa, I think it just comes to 22,220%, or something like that. Anyway, the damage doesn't feel super powerful, for sure, in Greater Rift 100 pluses. It's fine in tier 16 rifts, but I feel like it does lack, as well as the toughness, to be honest, in Greater Rift 100 pluses, and that's solo, let alone party-based ones where they're even more difficult. If you ask me, I feel like it should be 5,000. I'd like it to be 10,000, but I think people will be like, no, that's too crazy. But yeah, I feel like 5,000 per stack, making it 50,000 increased damage per stack would be nice. Or even 2,500, just so it was 25,000 damage increase would be really nice, if you ask me. So yeah, instead of 10,000 going up to 25,000, I think that would be much more plausible. I also think the 6% reduced damage, I think 10% at least, if not 15% increased damage would be nice. So there is that too. Last but not least, unless I've forgotten anything, hopefully I haven't, we have got legendary gems. I did have the Gizzard in here, but I felt like it just wasn't really necessary because it didn't heal your health as quick enough, especially compared to your life per hit heal. That's where you get your health back from. Constantly attacking with life per hit. With the legendary gems, I've got a Mineri teardrop, which I tested in the last video that I recorded with, unfortunately, the fan in the background. That has a 15% chance to smite a nearby enemy or the only enemy on the screen if there's only one, for 7,740% damage as holy, and it heals you 3% as well, which is a nice bonus. And it does smite enemies every 3 seconds, which isn't really anything. The main thing you're looking at is just the constant smiting. It seemed like there was no cooldown on the smiting, which I was more than happy with. That was what I weren't sure about when I tested it not long ago. If it had a cooldown on each time, it would do a smite per attack. And yeah, you're hitting so fast that you're constantly triggering that. So I feel like it's much better than the gizzard I had equipped. People might be able to tell me if a Bane of the Traps would be more beneficial. So if you know if that would work better than this one, let me know in the comment section below. And we also have the Bane of the Stricken, just for pushing the high level Greater Rifts, where the health of the bosses and elite packs and what have you are so much higher. And then of course we have the increased damage of primary skills by 75%. It also heals you with your primary frenzy hits as well for 4% of your maximum health, which is a nice bonus as well. But mainly I feel like the damage increase is the main thing I get out of that. Obviously there are other options as well. You could use some of the toughness, damage reduction, resistance increase legendary gems as well. I recommend them as well for survivability. So yeah, we're going to jump into it. But yeah, the only thing I will say is I'm at least happy there is an actual set now which is for attack speed, which is for the frenzy skill. In the old days, in the old days, people would stay a while and listen. Nobody ever stays a while and listens anymore. Exactly what he said. There used to be, in a long time ago, years ago now, must be over 5 years ago, I used to try working, I think, the ring, which increased legendaries and furthermore ancient legendaries, mixed with the hack weapon and the Thorns Invoker gem to try and do this build back then. So we're going to jump right into the Swifty Rift now. I'm going to call them Greater Swifts from now on. Greater Swifts. I'm going to patent, that's trademarked and patented. So 100, I'm going to empower it, because I don't think I'm going to die. I'm going to try not to die. And we're going to do it right now. Right now, right now, right now.
Are you ready?
The trial begins. Whoop. There they are. As you can see, much better damage when you're standing in that circle. Unfortunately, obviously not a range build. I've had like an itchy eye just there all day today. It's on and off. As you can see, insane attack speed. Alright, we're going to run up here now because we need to get a shrine. We're going to hit Wrath of the Berserker, seeing as they're an elite pack. Threatening Shout. Oh, lasers. We got the lasers.
You got guys named Laser and Blazer and Taser and all kinds of Azer. Grr.
We got him. That move speed really does help. And you notice you slow down a lot when the stacks run out. Oh, I didn't use one of my cheat deaths. Good, good. Threatening Shout's also really helpful, just to get things to move out of the way. Channeling, I'll take that. So if things are blocking your route in stairs or doorway, you can use that basically to get around not being able to get through enemies. Oh, this Oculus Ring circle there. Nice, thank you. But then he's walking away. He's walking away. Okay, that's that. Still got challenge, so we're going to activate that again. Ooh, 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 ooh. Easy now. Can really do with another elite pack. There we go, there's one. Activate that again. And there's one more somewhere. Get your ass over here. Get over here. Alright, we got him. Wait, no he didn't. Where is he? I feel like he just disappeared. Which is a pain in the ass. Because it doesn't say killed. Okay, let's just move on. Motherfucker. Oh, is that him? There he is. There's the little bastard. There's the bastard.
Where's Dr. Evil, huh? There's the bastard.
There we go, finally. We are in desperate need of a shrine. Thank you, that helped. Oh shit. Alright, let's get to the next area. If we find ourselves a shrine. I want to get to there. Oh, just as I was going for the Oculus ring, it disappeared. Alright, this will help a little bit, but we need a shrine big time. Usually you've seen a shrine before now. Oh, it better be a good shrine when I get it. It better not be a shield. I don't want shield. I mean, shield's nice. It's also good just to tap enemies every once in a while, just so you do keep those stacks up, because you do notice the damage difference that you take whenever you whenever you run into an elite pack or boss or whatever without those increased stacks. I am not doing as good as I did in the one I recorded the other day, which is just typical. No shrine. No shrine, 2 stages so far. Oh, there's one of my cheat deaths on cooldown. There we go, getting that Oculus ring. That's it, that's it. Thank you. Right. Still no shrine. But there's got to be one here. Any minute now. Thank you. I'll take a power shrine. Nice. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. Alright, stuff's increasing already on the progress bar. Okay, let's get up to the next pack. If we can find another elite pack somewhere. There we go. You. Okay, wait, things are looking up a little bit now. We've hit that shrine. That's definitely helping a lot. I feel like that shrine went really quickly. Would have been nice for the effect to have lasted a bit longer there. So as you can see, it is a pain in the ass. Enemies are usually always moving away from you. But it can be helpful as well as not helpful. Is this a shielded? Yeah, he's a shielded one, so he's going to constantly get shielded sometimes. We got him, he's going, he's going. Thank you. Well, there's a cheap death again. Thank you, we'll take that. Activate Wrath of the Berserker there. We don't want to stand in that if we don't have to. I don't think we need to kill them. No, we do not. Thank you. Oh, he's in the Oculus Ring. Oh no, the Oculus Ring disappeared as I stood in it. Awesome. This guy seems to have a lot more health than the last 100 Rift Guardian I fought the other day. I think this is only the third, fourth at the most 100 Rift I've done on this character. And he's going down, we got him. Nice. And there you have it. 100. Anything more than that, definitely a 125 I feel like would be an absolute nightmare. But yeah, it's doable. I feel like I could push 110 maybe if I had all primal equipment, but who knows. Maybe one day, but not today. Yeah, we are done with the video. So I want to say thanks for watching. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in the build which I forgot. Anything I can think of that I didn't cover. Go ahead and close that up, right y'all? Yay! I'm level 1148. Woo! Anyway, that's going to be the end of that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Alright, see ya!
Quickly! I need potions! Diablo's almost defeated!
Of course! Wait, what is that?
It's a town portal!
You opened a portal from hell to our town?
Everyone stay calm! We need to stick together and—
Oh, no! Don't take Fordham! He's a drunk!
Whoa!
Deckard, out!
How are they making portals?
I may have dropped a few scrolls.
What?
My inventory was full. Stay back, you bastards! Haunted!
No, the tavern! My wife is in there!
This can't be happening.
Yeah, thanks for opening up that portal, bro. Made the whole ushering in an era of plague and destruction thing way easier.
Forgive me, citizens of Tristram! I have failed you!
Hey, weird idea. You should shove this soul stone in your head